Evan Watson back for us. Evan, negotiating tactic or not, the team called the framework for a deal a non-starter. They also asked for some things that appear to be out of the city's control.
Sure. Speaking last week in front of Portland City Council, Blazers leaders referenced Portland's business climate, saying it makes it harder to run a competitive and profitable NBA franchise. I asked a field leader at the University of Oregon about that position. The Blazers want the public to fully pay for a $573 million arena upgrade. But beyond that, team leaders say the city and county shouldn't ask for much in return because Portland, they say, is a tough place to grow a team.
Portland's current stagnant business climate, high income taxes, and divisive political environment make this a tough city to invest in. It makes it harder to sell tickets, secure corporate partnerships, and as I said, recruit players.
Lauren Anderson is the director of the Warsaw Sports Business Center at the University of Oregon.
I think it's a negotiating tactic. I also do think there's a lot of truth to the statement. Portland hasn't drawn a bunch of other corporate headquarters, which does make it challenging in terms of pulling in other sponsors.
But she says the Blazers' new owners would have known Portland's limitations.
You don't spend billions of dollars to buy a team if you don't know what the market looks like. You probably knew this, and is this a lever to just put more pressure to move the team to another city?
When Blazers owner Tom Dundon took charge, he seemed to recognize that local officials would want trade-offs in exchange for public funding. Things like using local union labor and getting annual rent payments.
The people that represent the city and the county and your tax dollars are going to do a deal that's great for them, I hope. And then I'm going to try to do the same for the Trailblazers.
A few months later, talking to the Portland Metro Chamber in June, Dundon seemed more cynical, explaining why he wants to avoid any kind of private investment.
It feels like we're making a pretty big investment by staying here and paying these tax rates and agreeing to these fees for dollars that go back into the building. It's not that we're taking the money.
With the possibility of relocation, Anderson says other NBA owners would rather have the higher expansion fees than a potential relocation fee. And the Blazers moving wouldn't look great for the league.
It doesn't seem like the NBA would want to be in a position where another team leaves the Pacific Northwest, especially with the fan base as strong as the Blazer fan base has always been.
With the Blazers' future and Portland's realities, everything is on the table in hard-fought negotiations.
My hope is that, this is really something that Dundon's being honest about and wants to try and keep the team here and make it work. I do think the city is also fair to be cautious and apprehensive about whether there's a long-term commitment.
Portland council members will hear public testimony on the term sheet on Wednesday morning, starting at 9:30. Then the next day, Thursday, Multnomah County commissioners are set to talk about and potentially vote on the county's funding for Moda Center upgrades.
It's going to be a busy week on so many levels. Fascinating interview, and always appreciate the follow-up, Evan. Thanks.